Woody's biggest fear was never that Buzz Lightyear was cooler than him. It was that Buzz proved something Woody didn't want to admit. Love can move on without asking permission. At the start of Toy Story, Woody is not just Andy's favorite toy. He is the toy, the leader, the one everyone looks to, the one with the best spot on the bed, the one whose identity is built on being chosen first. And that is the dangerous part. Woody does not just enjoy being loved, he depends on being irreplaceable. Then Buzz arrives. Buzz is shiny. Buzz has lights. Buzz has wings. Buzz has confidence so extreme it almost becomes impressive. And suddenly, the room changes. The other toys admire him. Andy is obsessed with him. Woody's place on the bed is gone. His face is covered by a Buzz Lightyear poster. His whole world gets rearranged overnight. That is why Woody panics. Not because Buzz is evil. Buzz is not trying to take anything from him. He is just existing. And sometimes that is what makes replacement hurt the most. The person replacing you does not have to attack you. They just have to be wanted where you used to be wanted. Woody's first mistake is thinking replacement is a competition. He believes that if Buzz becomes important, Woody must become worthless. That is the mindset that destroys him. Instead of seeing Buzz as another toy Andy can love, Woody sees him as proof that Woody is fading. And that is painfully human. People do this all the time. A new employee joins the team, and suddenly you feel threatened. A younger sibling is born, and the older child feels invisible. Your friend starts hanging out with someone new, and you wonder if your place is disappearing. Your ex moves on, and it feels like your entire history got erased. Someone gets attention, praise, affection, or opportunity, and instead of seeing abundance, we see subtraction. Woody teaches us that the fear of being replaced can turn even good people into small people. He becomes jealous, controlling, bitter. He tries to expose Buzz. He tries to embarrass him. Eventually, he knocks Buzz out the window, not because he truly wants to destroy him, but because he is desperate to restore the old version of his life. That is what insecurity does. It convinces you that if you can just remove the threat, you can get your peace back. But peace does not come back that way. Because the real problem was never Buzz. The real problem was that Woody had confused his position with his purpose. His position was Andy's favorite. His purpose was to love Andy, protect the other toys, and be part of something bigger than his own ego. When Buzz shows up, Woody loses his position, and because he has forgotten his purpose, he loses himself. That is the lesson. Being replaced only breaks you when your identity is built on a title someone else controls. Favorite, best friend, top performer. The funny one, the smart one, the chosen one, the reliable one, the person they always call first. Those roles feel good, but they are fragile. They depend on other people continuing to see you the same way forever. And nobody gets that guarantee. Woody wants Andy's love to stay frozen in time. He wants the room, the routine, the hierarchy, and the affection to remain exactly as they were. But life does not work like that. New people arrive, new needs appear, new seasons begin. And if your sense of worth depends on never being challenged, every change will feel like an attack. Buzz also teaches Woody something without meaning to. Buzz has his own crisis. He believes he is a real space ranger, and then he discovers he is a toy. His identity collapses too. Woody fears he is no longer special because Buzz arrived. Buzz fears he was never special in the first place. That is why their friendship matters. They are both dealing with the same wound from opposite sides. Woody thinks, I used to matter, and now I don't. Buzz thinks, I thought I mattered, but maybe I never did. And the answer for both of them is the same. Your worth is not destroyed by the role changing. Buzz is not less meaningful because he is a toy. Woody is not less meaningful because Andy loves another toy. Their value was never in being the only one. Their value was in what they could give, who they could become, and how they showed up when it mattered. Woody becomes better when he stops trying to defeat Buzz and starts trying to save him. That is the turning point. He goes from protecting his status to protecting a person. He goes from jealousy to loyalty. He goes from how do I get my place back to how do we get home. That shift is everything. Because the cure for replacement anxiety is not proving you are better than the new person. It is remembering who you are when you are not being applauded. Woody's growth is not that he becomes Andy's favorite again. His growth is that he becomes capable of sharing love without seeing it as humiliation. He learns that leadership is not being the most adored person in the room. Leadership is being secure enough to make room for someone else. That is hard, really hard. Because when you are replaced, or when you feel replaced, the first instinct is to shrink your world around the wound. You compare, you obsess, you look for evidence, you replay moments, you wonder what they have that you don't. You try to become shinier, funnier, more useful, more impressive, more impossible to ignore. But Woody shows us that trying to become irreplaceable can make you unbearable. When you cling too tightly to your old spot, you stop acting out of love and start acting out of fear. You stop seeing people clearly. You start seeing them as threats. And the tragic part is that behavior can push people away faster than the replacement ever could. The real maturity is accepting that being loved does not always mean being first. Being valuable does not always mean being central. Being important does not always mean being unmatched. Sometimes you are still loved, just differently. Sometimes your role changes, but your meaning remains. Sometimes someone new comes along, and instead of proving you are obsolete, they reveal that your world was too small. Woody thought Buzz was the end of his story. Buzz was actually the beginning of Woody becoming less selfish, more courageous, and more whole. That is what being replaced can do when you let it teach you instead of harden you. It can show you where your ego was hiding. It can show you which parts of your identity were too dependent on attention. It can show you whether your love was real or just a need to be needed. It can force you to build a self that does not collapse every time someone else gets picked. And no, that does not mean replacement does not hurt. It does. Woody's fear is relatable because it is not ridiculous. Losing your place hurts. Watching someone else receive what used to be yours hurts. Feeling like the room lights up for them the way it used to light up for you hurts. But hurt is not always proof that you have been erased. Sometimes it is proof that you are being invited to grow beyond the version of yourself that needed to be the only one. Woody's story is powerful because he does not win by becoming Buzz. He wins by becoming himself again, without the insecurity. He does not need wings. He does not need lasers. He does not need to be new. He needs to remember that loyalty, courage, and love were always his strengths. That is the part people miss. Woody was never replaced because he lacked value. He felt replaced because he believed value had only one seat. But love is not a single chair. Friendship is not a trophy. Purpose is not a ranking system. There is room for Buzz. There is room for Woody. There is room for the old and the new, the familiar and the exciting, the steady and the spectacular. The moment Woody understands that, he becomes free. So maybe the lesson is not, don't be afraid of being replaced. Fear is natural. The lesson is this: do not let the fear of being replaced turn you into someone who forgets how to love. Because the people who truly matter in our lives are not always the ones who stay first forever. They are the ones who keep showing up with character when their status changes. Woody teaches us that being replaced is not the same as being worthless. Sometimes it is just the moment life asks you a brutal question. Who are you when you are no longer the favorite? And the answer cannot be a title. It cannot be someone else's attention. It cannot be a spot on the bed, a name on the list, a role you used to own, or a version of life that no longer exists. The answer has to be deeper. You are what you choose when you feel threatened. You are how you act when someone else gets the spotlight. You are whether you become bitter or bigger. You are whether you chase your old position or rediscover your real purpose. Woody lost his place. Then he found himself. And that is why his story still hits so hard.